Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of G-Made CNC. Today's video we're going to be doing some test cuts on a 1-inch bar stock, and we're going to be knurling it using the Tormach lathe. We're going to walk through making the G code through conversational to cutting the part, and then we'll cut another one right after using coolant. So we'll try a dry and with coolant and see if there's any difference in surface finish. With that said, let's get started. Alright, so what we got going on here. First we're going to turn it down just to make sure that this is completely symmetrical, so that we don't get any high and low spots when we knurl. So I already got this set. We're going to cut it back from the front back 1.5 inches. Our bar stock is a little under 1 inch. It's 0.9959, so we'll just cut it down to 0.97. So let's get that posted to file. Okay. So next we'll cut in a 45 on the front, and the reason for that is I'll show you when the machine starts. The knurling tool kind of rocks back and forth, so it's not dead perfect. So when it starts to come in, it's off a little bit, the two wheels. So if the roller's not dead on, it's going to hit the 45 and roll up and then go across. This way there's no damage done to the tool. And if desired afterwards, maybe we'll face the 45 off or just trim it down a little bit. But we'll see. It depends on the project that we do in the future. So let's go to conversational. Okay, we're going to chamfer. I have this set up already, tool 3 for me. Come back 5/100ths, cut it on a 45. Okay, next we'll knurl it. So the way I set this up for the knurling is setting up no different than turning outside diameter. So we'll go to the knurling tool is tool 6. Okay. And we'll knurl it in 1.25 inches. So we'll cut it down 5/100ths, so it should be 0.92. Okay, let's see. I don't want a finish pass, so 0. For roughing passes, we'll do 5/1000ths for each pass. Just trying it out, and we'll cut our roughing surface speeds per minute to 150, and I think that is it for the knurling. Okay, attach. Okay, and we'll face the front of it. So cut it back 2/100ths, and we'll kick this back to surface feeds 250. Okay, attach file. Okay, so there's our code. So first it's going to come in, turn the part 1.5 inches, Then I'll 45 the front of it, which is here. And then I'll knurl it, and then come in and face the 45. Not completely off, I left a little bit. And you'll see why in a minute, why I put that 45. When I first test part I ever did, it started having burrs over here, and the aluminum was actually pushing over. It was just nasty, and the tool was kind of hitting it and like popping up. So once I put a 45, the tool just rolled up it smoothly and rolled right across. So let's get this set up in the machine, and we'll try a dry test cut, and then we'll take a look at it. Just 2-inch stick out. Go to tool 7. That's my master tool. Let's go back to home page. I'm just going to jog in on Z. Let's get in there a little closer. So back it off a little. Boom. 0 at Z. Okay. So an X will be 0.9959. Okay. Reference on. Let's hit cycle start. Now I'm taking this extremely conservative. The more I play with it, I'll start understanding how far I can push this tool as far as each depth per pass and speed. This was just a quick video doing some test cuts for a future project I got coming up, and I figured I'd share it with you guys. You can see there how the 45 helps the tool center itself onto the bar stock. Thought I got rid of that finish pass. Yeah. Look into it later. There you go. It's perfect. Looks like any foot peg you would buy for street bike or BMX bikes. Yeah, and we took off the 45, so you can see here. I left it there. This one we took off. Alright, let's throw another bar in there. And we'll cut it with some coolant this time. See how well that works. Alright, let's check this out. Not bad. Let's get the other part. So here we have dry and coolant. The coolant side feels kind of smoother. Doing it dry, you can kind of feel ever so slightly little sharp edges. Not bad at all, just this one's a little bit smoother. But as far as the finish goes, both came out great. So let's get into the tool. Okay, so here's your knurling tool. And it rocks. So it centers, you know, on the part. So if you were pushing it up to something that was here, it would roll and center itself. So that's why we put the 45, so when the tool comes over and it hits it, it just kind of rolls up the edge. So it's not, you know, slamming into it and bending the tool. As far as setting it up, the same thing as if it was any other tool. Found this edge right here is my 0 for Z. And then I just rolled it down onto the part ever so slightly to the point where both wheels, if I rolled them, I could feel them just, here we go, I just drag on it. So both wheels, and that's when I set 0 for my X. The other thing from testing the part, what I needed to do was I had to put this thing on like a 5-degree angle, just a slight pitch. So it actually starts to knurl here ever so slightly, and as it starts rolling across, back here is where it starts getting aggressive with the tool. My finished products, I did, like I said, 2 of them with the CNC machine and a bunch of test cuts on my manual lathe, and putting on a 5-degree angle so that when it's coming in, the front part is just barely touching it, and then as it progresses backwards, it gets deeper into it. Now to offset that, I just took a very fine small washer and slid it behind here and tightened it down. Made a few quick light manual passes to see how it rolled onto the tool, and that was about it. Yeah, and then you also want to double check and make sure that this doesn't drop too far. If it does, on your particular tool, you may have to maybe put a little weld booger right there, just so it doesn't drop down any further than what it should. Like this one doesn't drop that far down this way, but up here you can see it rolls up a lot higher. So it all depends. Maybe you have to rotate your tool around, and it all depends on the manufacturer you're buying it from. So there'll be more to come with this knurling tool as far as projects are concerned. I just threw this video together for guys that are interested in getting knurling and didn't know where to start. I hope this was helpful for all of you. stay tuned for future projects where we're integrating knurling into the project. But once again, focus. There you go. This one's dry, this one's coolant. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful. Take care, guys. See you next week.